hands-on feel on what are the potential and what are the limitations of this. On Friday morning, we will then have a dialogue. And I'm going to be like Ganapati, I'm going to be listening and not speaking. And you guys are going to tell me of what you think are the strengths and limitations of this. How much do you think is a waste of time and how much do you think are the potentials? Okay? Fair enough. Is there anything that you want to, first of all, the students, is there anything that you think I have missed that you would like me to cover, which I may not in this particular style cover? Anyone? Oh, yes, I forgot to mention one thing. Tomorrow afternoon, again, we will have a shorter session, maybe 1 hour, of doing some more recording. Because when I make you do the analysis tomorrow morning, I'm hoping that you realize the mistakes that you have made. Okay, we will repeat it, and then you will be already on it, so it'll be quick. And then, so that's how we'll finish off tomorrow. Okay, is there anything that I have missed out, you think, that you believe you can gain from me? Okay, we can talk about force and EMG today itself if you want. Fair enough, thank you. What else? Model of EMG I cannot do in this time. I will give you some reading material. We can talk about it later if you want, but it is, I can give you we can talk about a basic structure of the model, but going into more details will be impossible. Okay, anything else, guys? Force, fatigue, anything else? One of the things that you guys wanted me to talk about was prosthetics. So no one has raised your hands about that. There was other things that you guys wanted to talk to me about. Clinical applications. No one's spoken about that. Are you guys, I know it's a holiday, but come on, wake up. You want to take 2 minutes and think of what you want to ask me? Why don't we do one thing? We leave you for 2 minutes. Whatever you want to do, make a list, make your wish list. I might say I don't know, but at least make a wish list. All right? And professors now at the back. You all are professors? What is there anything that I'm missing out in this? You want to listen from me? So you want to know about prosthetic. Okay. So let's write down these things. And which is a black pen not to be used? Yep, these are all good. So one person wants to know about fatigue and EMG. Huh? Okay. No, I can do it. Okay. Anything else? Huh? Medical applications. Clinical applications. Okay. Huh? Pardon? Signal processing. Yeah, but tools. Yeah. So the whole intention is all of these will go towards signal processing tools. Right. Anything else, guys? Okay. Interesting. Yep. Physiological relationship and engineered features. Is that a correct word? Okay. What else? I'm also going to introduce you to one more thing, and that is coactivation. Coactivation. Anything else, guys? And who are the volunteers who are going to be helping in recording the EMG in the afternoon? I know you are one of them. Who else? Both of you? So what we will do is, and one more person, you, okay? What we will do is, when we finish the morning session, we will write down, sit, yeah, where are you standing? I'm the one who has to stand. So we will write down the protocol for today and tomorrow. Okay? I will tell you the protocol for tomorrow. They won't know. Right? Okay? It is going to be, because today I'm going to make them make mistakes, and tomorrow they will correct them. Okay. Can you do me a small favor?
Yes.
Can you take 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 points down? Pardon? Force and EMG is here. Sports. Okay, I will do that only if you are willing to play a game tonight. Sports application. Okay. Anything else? If you can take these notes down. So coactivation I'll keep for tomorrow. Sports application also we can keep for tomorrow. Prosthetic hand control we may finish today, we may also end up going tomorrow. Okay? All right, now. By the way, someone in the morning told me at the guest house that our session was in the Hindu newspaper. Okay? They said they saw my photograph. I said, I haven't seen my own photograph, so that's all right. What? Oh, okay. Well, that's your problem, not mine. Now, are we all ready to go? How many of you are fatigued right now? Emotionally, mentally, physically? Is anyone feeling fatigued? Your wife or husband didn't make you breakfast this morning? You are very angry? You're emotionally fatigued? Anyone? Everyone got their breakfast in the morning? Okay, what did you have for breakfast? Bread. Right. And you, ma'am? Idli. Right. That's my kind of breakfast. Anything else? Anyone else had any other option? No? That's a breakfast too? And you looked after, they were looked after? Emotionally, you were looked after. So you do not have emotional fatigue. You don't have currently emotional fatigue. What does the word fatigue mean? Emotional fatigue. Okay, let's do a Dr. Google search and find out what does the word emotional fatigue mean. No, no, no. Let's see. Let's do a Google search. Come on. Huh? Did you search? Overstretch. Stretch. Overstress. And what does the word stress mean? Pardon? Is it only mental? I'm asking you. I don't know the answers. I'm asking you. I'm going to be like Ganapati listening to you guys. Tension. Tension, pressure, exhaustion. Word, come on. Huh? Extra load. Anything here? Pardon? Mechanical fatigue, which will break down. Okay? So extreme fatigue can lead to breakdown, is what I'm hearing. Right? And in the case, so are you satisfied? Emotional fatigue is a word? Thank you. I thought just in case if I got my language wrong. So fatigue is something, according to what you guys have told me, something which is caused by excessive load, stress, or other such factors, which, if not stopped, can lead to a breakdown. Is that a reasonable statement to make? Is there anyone who disagrees with that statement? Anyone wants to add something to that statement? Right. So stress can be of anything. In general, if you are a mechanics person, you will be talking about stress and strains because of beams and everything else. If you're building a house or a building, you're talking about stresses and strains. But that's not the stress and strain we're talking about when we talk about emotional fatigue. In emotional fatigue, we're talking about so and so said something to me. You know, what the hell they said that to me for? That becomes emotional fatigue. Most of the times, emotional fatigue is not physical. Right? Sometimes it can be, but generally not. Then you can have fatigue of your bones. Most of you at your age should not be having, but in case if with age and with other factors, there can be stresses of the bones and the skeletal system. And again, of course, if you are a sports person and if you push your body hard enough, you can cause stress of the bones and leading to fracture and everything else, right? All of those things can happen. Okay. Now, what is muscle fatigue? Muscle fatigue is not going to break down, right? You're not breaking down a muscle like that. What happens? Why do we refer to fatigue as muscle fatigue? How do I get
After doing some kind of physical activity like exercise, so the muscle will get tired, so that we can refer to muscle fatigue.
Do you agree with her? What's her name? Nizu. Do you agree with Nizu? She is saying that after have you understood what she said, by the way? Okay. By the way, as a word of caution, when you are speaking on a mic, and especially in a larger room, if you speak slower, it's better for the other person to understand because there's an echo. Okay. When you're speaking one-to-one, you can speak faster, but on the mic, it typically is easier. Okay, now, so she says that if you do some muscle activity, that will in somehow lead to muscle fatigue. The rest, how she described it, I may not agree with the whole thing, but I'll agree with the beginning and the end. Right? She did some muscle activity and it's leading to muscle fatigue. Okay. Why do you think it happened? Sudden relaxation and contraction happens. The girls in the room speak so softly. I can hardly.
Prolonged intense activity.
Prolonged intense activity. Okay. Anyone else? Someone else? Point? Anyone? No? Okay. I'm sure we have heard the good old saying, when I was in school, there was a story which we were taught. And that was that one old farmer is about to die and he's trying to unite the children. And you put the stacks together and you can't break it. But if you take individual twigs, you can break them, right? What do you think I'm talking in this context? Huh? No, I'm not going that scientific at the moment. I will later, but at the moment it's just, if you are having something which has got lots of little into it, it provides the flexibility. At the same time, it has got the individual support. So muscles, if you look at it, it's got lots. It's not as if we have one big muscle fiber which does the whole activity. It is that there are lots of small muscle fibers which put together. Why? Because every time when we contract a muscle, how are we contracting the muscle? Has anyone thought about the physiology of the muscle contraction? What is happening? What happens to the calcium ions? They're sliding. Someone was yesterday talking about the slide of that lady is not there. One who was sitting was one of your colleagues. Huh? Yeah. So there is a fiber movement happening because of which there's force generated, and that results in the force. So why should there be fatigue? There can be multiple reasons. How many of you go jogging sometimes or do any strenuous activity? Anyone in the room? You? 2, 3? That's it? 4, 5? Other people? Nada? Nothing? No cardiac activity? Come on, guys, better start doing it, otherwise you'll have swimming? Good. If nothing else, don't use a lift. At least climb up and down. Now, actually, I found this amazing in the guest house. To go one level up, there was this guy who was waiting for 10 minutes at the lift. And I'm wondering, okay, but I've seen worse. I've seen people doing that at the gym. You go to the gym to exercise and you don't want to take one flight of steps. So, but that's our human race. Back to, so when that is happening, why do you think there should be fatigue taking place? When you are running, what happens? So some people will feel the pain first, and some people will feel the lung capacity first, right? And some people will simply find that the heart is beating too fast and they'll stop. And some people's mind will say, it's getting boring, I'll stop. It could be any of them. So you could be emotional fatigue. You could be central fatigue, which is the cardiac and the cardiovascular, or you could have the muscle fatigue. There could be another kind of fatigue, the neural fatigue, when the nerves are not able to deliver the stimuli enough. Okay, enough of talking. 1 minute or 2 minutes, find out what is referred to as central cardiovascular fatigue. Okay, are we good? Okay. Anyone wants to propose the answer? Someone who has not spoken at all so far. Let's hear it from him or her. Thank you.
CNS does not generate sufficient neural signals to the heart, so it decreases the blood supply to all over the body. So that is central cardiovascular fatigue.
Does CNS ever control the heart? No, yeah, the rest is right. That CNS part is perhaps an overkill.
Spinal cord.
No, in fact, if I'm not going to go into the physiology of the heart, but the heart is not controlled by either. Anyway, but that doesn't matter. We know what the intention is to show that when there is a lack of supply coming out of the cardiovascular to going to the rest of the body, that's when there is a fatigue, right? Okay. Pardon? Low oxygen. So it could be because of many reasons, but let's not worry about that. At the moment, the thing is that somewhere in the body, not because of the muscles, body is got fatigued. What other option did we consider of the fatigue? The neural fatigue. We won't talk about that because many people don't even consider that to be fatigue. Then why do you think when the activity is coming to the muscle, the nutrients are coming across and they're running through, right? What does the muscle require? It requires glucose, the nutrients, right? The ATP. It requires some amount of sodium, calcium, and oxygen. And if that is coming, why should the muscle get fatigued? Let's keep going. Can it happen? So if it is central fatigue happening, that is that the body is unable to deliver that, will there be any change to the muscle? We'll think about that later. Right? What other changes could happen to the muscle? Now let's look at the peripheral muscle. Muscle is contracting. After a while, I'm saying it is getting fatigued. Why? Let's say that the person is getting enough oxygen, the heart is working well enough, everything is good, but I'm still getting fatigued. What is happening? You just dropped in a nice word. Right. And what is happening then?
I'm not completely remembering, but the ATP will be decomposed into ADP plus energy.
Right.
And if it is in less oxygen,
so you're dropping in two kinds of fatigue, anaerobic and aerobic, right? Okay, guys, do a bit of homework and find out what is the difference between these two. Anaerobic and aerobic activities. Okay? In this group, anyone wants to volunteer an answer? Yeah? You don't have to. It's a voluntary thing.
We're talking about anaerobic.
Yep, you can talk about one or both. I'll leave it to you. If you talk about one, someone else will talk about the other.
And high intensity workout.
Bring it closer.
It's a high intensity workout.
High intensity.
Workout.
You'll have to spell it out, please. Intensity what?
Workouts.
Workout, right? And anything else you want to add? Okay. Can you take off from there and finish off aerobic? You know, you're not confident? No, if only. Ma'am, you at the back? Are you comfortable? Try it out. Give it to the lady at the back. There you are. Are you good? You don't want to? You want to? No? Anyone else? You? Okay, let's hear.
That answer for aerobic and anaerobic activities.
Yep.
Aerobic activities use oxygen for sustain.
Pardon?
Low to medium intensity exercise like swimming and running. So aerobic activity.
Okay.
And,
So you're saying tonic exercises you are putting under aerobic.
yes, sir.
Hmm?
Running and
Okay.
activity.
Anyone wants to help me identify the difference between the two? Thank you.
Anaerobic workouts actually sprinting, lift, jumping.
So basic activity.
Anaerobic activities.
Basic activity. That's basic muscles. Type 2 muscles.
Yes.
Okay. Is there anything else someone can add? Can you pass it up?
Sir, continuous supply of oxygen is needed for the aerobic activities to be performed. For anaerobic activities, the energy system is provided by the muscle glycogen.
Fantastic. Thank you very much. What does that mean? Can someone else complete it for me? You've done a great job. Can you pass it on to the lady at the back? You want to continue on that?
Sir, generally the anaerobic activities are short duration movements
Yes.
with high intensity.
High intensity, short duration,
Yeah.
typical type 2,
Yeah.
but not necessary.
Yeah.
Right?
And the aerobic activities are generally concentrated on the larger muscles of the body.
Okay.
So it may require, it is rhythmic and repetitive. So it may require less energy reserve compared to the anaerobic activities. I'm not very sure.
Okay, energy is reserved, right? Because you're getting the oxygen flow, as the gentleman said before.
Yeah.
Right. Pass it on to the lady at the back, and you can do it. Try it. Okay. Right. So what do you think now? What have you picked up from here? So the differences between the two, as far as muscle fatigue is concerned, as far as fatigue is concerned. Okay.
Example of anaerobic activity, weightlifting.
Right. Okay. You're telling him, you could have told it yourself, right? When you are in a workplace, you will have to do it yourself. So you might as well start doing it now. Okay, now. So what we have seen is that fatigue can be caused because of various reasons. Or if it's a slow going, easy thing, the body is in rhythm. So it's using the amount of nutrients that are flowing through the system. On the other hand, if you're doing something like a sprint or heavy weights or something, you're using muscle does not have the time to get the nutrients from the bloodstream, and it is the internal which are being used, right? Of course, muscle, all the training and exercise and muscle training, they all play a role here. But that is not what we're talking about right now. Okay. So now what we've come down to is the biochemical nature of muscle fatigue. Now let's look at the muscle in itself. If I take a muscle and I take a cross section of that, it looks like this. And in this, I've got all of these as muscle fibers. Many of them. We yesterday worked out that you can have thousands of muscle fibers. And each of these is contracting to generate the force. Now, if we were to generate a large amount of force, nearly all of these would have to be activated together. Okay? But if you are generating a small amount of force, only a few of them are getting activated. So let's draw some motor units. So this are one motor unit. This is another motor unit, etc. So you remember motor units from yesterday? What was a motor unit? One motor neuron connected to the muscle fibers. So now here you have a situation where the black ones and the blue ones are separate. They are working. So if I need very little force, I only use one set of motor units, another set of motor units, easy going, nothing, no problem. The more amount of force I require, what do I have to do? These motor units or larger motor units are required, or the motor units have to start working together. When that happens, and then what else will be required? So one of the ways of generating more force is to have more number of motor units. Second, to recruit bigger motor units. What's the third option? To generate more force, pardon? Not simultaneous, but I have to increase the rate at which excitation is happening. I do not understand. Increase the load. Yeah, so the increase in the load is the external. How do I compensate that internally from the muscle? So either I have bigger motor units, more motor units, or higher frequency of stimulation. Okay, I can do any of these three things, and that will lead to some kind of a increase in force. Right, now, and when that happens, there would be the flow, whether it is coming anaerobic or aerobic, there would be these, after a while, they will be unable to sustain themselves because the rate at which the stimuli is coming is fast enough, and whether it's aerobic or anaerobic, the nutrients, the replenishment is not fast enough. So each of these guys would need a bit of a break. So a normal typical tendency is that in the body naturally starts resting some motor units and bringing out the new ones. So the black ones are getting tired. Okay, let's rest these and bring out the blue ones. Now the blue ones are getting tired, we'll bring out the other ones, the red ones, something. By doing this kind of a situation, we are able to overcome the fatigue to a large extent. but you continue doing it. And after a while, these muscle fibers, what are they going to be doing somehow? If the force is still high, right? And these muscle fibers are fatigued, they're not able to generate the full amount of force. What is going to happen? The body still tries to push, right? The muscle fibers, which are also, now these start getting activated together as a last resort. Okay? Think about it like this. Let's say that this is a class where we have got the, what's that thing called? The tug of war, the pull, the rope. You got to pull. Anyone played that ever? Okay. So when you're pulling, and then some people are the big ones, some people are the smaller ones, and then they're all pulling. And then they break it up in, the strategy is when to push more and pull more, and some people relax and some people activate. All of that is happening, but the other team is very strong. So what happens is your team gets tired. And at one time, then the captain says, okay, everyone put it together. So you try it together and you continue. And afterwards, everyone says, no, we're falling down. That's a crash, right? Okay. Same thing is happening here. When each of the small muscles are trying, and they are unable to keep up, everything starts working together. And then if nothing keeps up, it collapses. So the aerobic ones in general are not in this category. We'll talk basically about the anaerobic ones here. Now, when this happens, what do you think would be, looking at the stimuli of these, how will they look like? So in the initial stages, the total muscle activity is increasing. After a while, it cannot increase anymore. It saturates, right? Then it's going to crash. That's a total muscle activity. How does it look like? We'll think about it later. So far, you guys understand? Okay. Any questions? Pardon? Bigger. Yeah. Yeah, in any muscle. In fact, yesterday we did that. In fact, one or few people even found that out, that your motor unit sizes can be right from 10 to 1,000. Okay, in the same muscle, depending upon how much force is required. So the smaller motor units are generally recruited when you need less force, and the bigger ones when you need more force. But when you need everything in order, because the whole thing is not able to keep up, you try to bring in as much as you possibly can. Okay? Any questions so far? Are you fatigued? Muscle strength. We're not talking about muscle strength right now. It doesn't matter whether you are a big guy or a small child. Muscle fatigue is going to have the same principle. Okay? We'll come to the force. He asked me that question, so I'll come to that later. Any questions? Or are you fatigued? Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, as long as it can. So the neural activity will keep coming. Remember we did yesterday the model of the muscle spindle receptor. If the force required is not being met, more and more of the recruitment will take place. If you take, I'll give you one example. I want one volunteer, stand up please, someone who thinks that they go to the gym. No, you said you go to the gym. No, you go to the gym. Come on, come in. Come on, yeah, come here. We'll make you do something. You know, you haven't been to the gym today, right? You did? Went to the gym. Come here. Lift this with one hand only. With your left hand. Are you a left hand or right hand person? Okay, then left hand. Pick up this. And keep it like that. Keep it like that. Don't do anything. And bend your elbow with it. Yep, like that. Keep it like that. Bend your elbow more. Bend down a bit. Like this. Hold it like this. Yep, I want your biceps to be taking the load, right? Okay, keep it like that. He's cheating a little, but doesn't matter. We'll let him cheat. He's bending his hand. He's taking the load on his bone. But you know, we'll punish him. So now if you notice something, if any of you girls sitting here and guys have got a fine eye, he is getting a little tremor in his bicep. Okay? Can you feel it? Can you report? Right? Keep it down, please. Why do you think the tremor is happening? Are you all right? Okay, you can go. Thank you. Why do you think that tremor happened? Anyone else? Huh? Muscles have become tight. Okay, tired, right? I agree with the word tired, but anything else? You want to say something without passing it on further? Okay. Anyone else? You see, what is happening is that in the past, there's a muscle recruitment happening. If I'm doing something, okay, if I'm lifting this, the muscles are recruiting, I'm not getting fatigued. But here, because that was reasonably heavy, his recruitment is not rotating. The whole muscle is getting recruited at one time. And if you have the whole muscle getting recruited at one time, you're having obviously a large twitch kind of a situation. Remember we spoke about twitch yesterday? So that is what is starting to take place. If we let it happen, then he'll get injured. So we won't let that happen. So now, I have given you lots of hints. I've talked about twitch. I've spoken about recruitment. Okay. We've also spoken about different kinds of fatigue. We haven't yet gone to how we're going to detect it. And I'm not going to tell you. You are going to tell me. So now, what are we going to do? So now we are going to, for a moment at least, stop at muscle fatigue. We'll go to now the other question I was asked was muscle force. Now, does anyone know the model of the skin? You know, the epidermis, the dermis. Anyone has done the basic physiology of the muscle, of the skin? No? So this is not an exact, and I'm not good at drawing. So I'm not gonna, this is your muscle. This is your fat. This is, I forget the name, the dermis muscle, which is just under the skin. I forget what it's called. Pardon? No, this is not the epidermis. Epidermis is here. Epidermis is here. This is the muscle. Anyway, okay, here. And then in between, you also have your blood flow. Okay? Now, pardon? What? Tea break. Okay, tea break. Okay. Guys, you're getting tea.